an eerie thing. It was like a boomerang, and when the thing approached you at high speed, you could hardly see it. And then it zoomed by. It was eerie.
You couldn't see that thing. It was a big airplane. You couldn't see that thing until it was practically on you, and then swoosh, and she was up in the air.
Byron Provost and Ward Parker are two of the engineers who worked on the first flying wing bomber, the Northrop YB-49, developed 45 years ago. It was the creation of one man, Jack Northrop, who founded Northrop Aircraft and was later personally devastated when the Air Force mysteriously canceled an order for 35 flying wings, airplanes that were to be the mainstay of America's post-war bomber force. Not until 1981, just weeks before he died, did Northrop finally tell what really happened. He revealed to Cleet Roberts that the flying wing was canceled because he refused an ultimatum from then Air Force Secretary Stuart Symington to merge his company with what is now General Dynamics.
I said, Mr. Secretary, what are the alternatives to this demand you are making of our merger with Consolidated Vultee? He said, alternatives? You'll be damn sorry if you don't.
To add salt to the wound, the Air Force ordered every flying wing destroyed. Nothing was to be left of a design most considered years ahead of its time.
I witnessed the airplanes being chopped up and put aboard flatbed trucks and hauled away. I knew the contract had been canceled, but I didn't know why.
But one flying wing did survive, a 1/3 scale prototype called the N9M. Since 1982, a small dedicated group of aircraft preservationists has labored on weekends to restore it for the Planes of Fame Museum in Chino. They work without pay for the love of history and aviation.
This airplane is so unique. It's the last surviving, it will be the only flyable Northrop flying wing.
And it will fly again. Hackworth says the N9M is now about 75% restored. In a year or so, he says, it'll be ready. By then, of course, the Air Force will already be flying its new flying wing, the B-2 stealth bomber, scheduled for rollout tomorrow.
Well, I think it's very definitely a vindication of John Northrop, the man who had conceived the flying wing, and I look upon it with great anticipation. I think it's a historical event, and I'm delighted that the flying wing is going to be flying again.
So the B-2 bomber may be the most expensive airplane ever built, but it's certainly not new.